Welcome everybody to another episode of Command Combat Battle Reports. Today we've got Napoleon Total War on a very flat field, almost like a chessboard. Britain versus France. With me today is Troy.
Hello everyone, I'm excited to be here looking across this particular map here. It reminds me of my home, Nebraska, where it is pretty much like what you're seeing here. So advantage Cornhuskers.
Yeah, well, but the British are red, so I guess we'll just have to, you'll have to be rooting for them.
Well, I was going to say, I think instead of calling them British, I'll just call them the Huskers.
All right, here come the Huskers. We got the rifles in the front with the line in the back, that's sort of standard, and then foot guards and Highland foot in reserve in the back, along with some horse guards in the very back. And looking at the flanks, it's some light dragoons. Over, and then we got some 6-pounder horse artillery. It's sort of racing forward. On the French side,
we'll call them Oklahoma.
Alright, on the Oklahoma side, we have chasseurs. Okay, so they have basically the light infantry in the front, the regular infantry, heavy infantry in the back. So young guard, old guard, old guard, old guard. So he's going with all elites, young guard and old guards, along with the, along with the light infantry in the front. And then artillery épée, I don't know how to pronounce that, by the way, artillery épée or something like that. That's like the best. Oh, yeah, he's going with like super old uber artillery. These are the French artillery that can shoot really far, is really heavy. So they're just pretty much going to try to hold at a distance, and if the British can get to them, they might be able to overwhelm them. So that's basically what this battle is going to turn into. Just want to take a look at one of their shots here. This is really what makes the Oklahoma offense very powerful, is that artillery right there. Oh, and they're already starting to do some damage to the Cornhuskers' horse artillery.
Well, you can see the Cornhusker offensive lineman there getting into formation and trying to clear the road there.
Can we fire now, sir?
Oh yeah, it looks like they didn't like being out there. When you got horse artillery versus that really heavy elite French artillery, you're not going to be able to really compete. So I don't know if they're going to bug out of there or try to maybe go closer so to get a better shot. But nope,
looks like they're bugging out of there.
Yeah, not a bad idea. It's again a little bit of that bring a knife fight to a gunfight kind of a thing.
Yeah, the first quarter here is not going the Huskers' way. Oklahoma right now is just pounding the rock and picking up some hard-earned yardage.
Yeah, but it looks like they're not even, as far as yardage is concerned, they're not moving forward, which I suppose is a logical step for the French to do, or for the Sooners to do. When you have that strong of artillery, for the most part, you just sit back and you just pummel your enemy. There's no point in going forward. You make them come to you.
Well, there's no doubt the Sooners are a fast-starting army, but the Huskers are known to finish strong, and so hopefully they'll maintain composure and come back from this early deficit to make it a game.
Yeah, well, here we go. They're setting up some of their artillery here. We'll see if they can... Oh, well, that's already getting hit. Oh, it looks like they weren't close enough. That's happened to me sometimes, where you set up and you find out you're just barely out of range. So they're going to have to go forward. I played one game one time where I went up somewhere, set up, I was just barely out of range. I mean, by just inches. And so moved my guys, moved them a little bit forward, set up, they were just out of range. I was like, oh, I must have calculated right. Set up, moved a little bit closer, still out of range. I finally discovered that while I was doing all that, my opponent was just inching back and realizing I was setting up my artillery and just inching back along with as I moved forward to shoot at him.
Well, if the Huskers don't start responding in kind, they could suffer some devastating casualties, especially to the artillery pieces.
Yeah, which again looks like over here they weren't quite setting up correctly. I wonder if maybe the French are trying that little trick. You notice actually this time I saw these guys go rushing forward. Looks like they're trying to take advantage of the fact that the French artillery is distracted somewhere else. Yep, so they're racing their horse artillery forward.
Well, it looks like the French have suddenly picked up and are launching their way, but the French may have picked up on it a little too late.
Yeah, it might actually get out set up, although I'm still not sure that this artillery is going to be able to do it. The Huskers would really be better off just simply sending their... Oh!
Ooh.
Ow!
Direct hit.
Yeah! Surprised that guy wasn't in pieces there.
Ooh, another one goes.
Whee!
Well, they have enough manpower here. They're down to 2 cannons now.
And they're not very big pieces, so... Well, at least they're firing, so...
Those wounded will answer to me.
The thing that they have going in their favor, the Huskers have going in their favor, is they definitely have the numbers. The Sooners player chose to...
Oh, they lost another piece.
Oh, there gets...
And now looks like they're routed and they're running away, leaving the remaining cannon.
Oh, but now they have the other cannon set up. Well, hopefully they have caused... Oh, well, that's not that one, but here we go, this one.
Well, the Huskers really have dug themselves a hole here against the Sooners with misjudging the distance needed to hit them with their own artillery.
Yeah.
I do see some maneuver there on the left flank there, Jeff.
Yeah, it looks like they are actually moving forward. They're realizing they're not going to be able to out-artillery them, so... And this might work because, you know, they have regular foot infantry, and whereas the Sooners chose all the elite ones, so what you're going to wind up with, because the Sooners chose so much... you had to spend so many points on those elite units, they have far fewer of them. So you're going to have fewer guns against many more guns.
Well, so it looks like the Huskers then are going old school here against the Sooners by using a ground game to establish position and hopefully wear down the opponent.
That is that's very much of a Huskers thing to do, to go for the run rather than the
pass with the cannons.
Right, exactly.
Artillery reporting.
I love it when it's that accurate. Ow,
They continue to take
yeah.
devastating losses to their artillery.
General Staff
And it seems to me what the Huskers really need to do now is push uphill. They need to get closed in, and because they're just getting decimated by that heavy.
Yeah, I completely agree with that, Troy. You know, they just need to get in there with their guys. And the thing is, one bullet still takes down one guy. It doesn't matter how elite you are. You're still going to get killed by a bullet. So if you can get a lot of guys in there, even if they're not the best shots, just the fact that you have the sheer numbers of shots.
Sir, our general.
Ooh, and there's the general's bodyguard, and there the general just got killed. There goes that general. That is, he put himself in some sort of unnecessary danger. That might really have done it for the Huskers right there.
I'm curious. I wonder why they did not flank round to the right there, and why they essentially came straight up.
I think
straight down the bowling alley.
Well, I think it being the general, they were probably coming up here to rally these guys. You can see they're about to rout, and I think that they were trying.
Our men are running.
Yeah, and there you go. Because if they had been able to rally those guys, they might have done something. But looks like they also have one. One of these rifles units over here, way on the right.
Well, if they're smart, they're going to concentrate those rifle units on the Sooners' artillery.
Yeah.
Because I can't tell from here how much casualty, how many units the Sooners may have lost to this point.
You can take a look here, but I doubt it's very much. You can see the artillery is pretty well
intact.
The infantry doesn't look like it's taken very much, or if anything.
Wow. This is not looking good here.
Oh, there's one artillery stand and then a little bit of their skirmishers. So that looks like it's about it in terms of the damage. So, and here's where the Huskers are moving up. So it's got, there's the cavalry is finally moving around this side. So you're going to see a big, probably attack on this flank. The artillery just has not been doing much, and then you're going to have a little attack maybe over on that side. They're probably... I was kind of wondering why this infantry's over here, but it's probably maybe to take out that cannon over there, or maybe to distract them and keep them so they can't, so the Sooners cannot concentrate. But here comes the Nebraska offense.
Now the question is, they got this good flank going on with the cavalry. Are they going to be able to punch up the gut now? And I see that the Sooners are going into a square formation.
Yeah.
Which is obviously a very good tactic.
Yeah.
But if I'm the Huskers, I just bypass them and I keep going right on down the line.
Right down here, yeah, which is exactly what they're doing. Looks like they're going right after that artillery, which is a good maneuver because you do not want that Sooner artillery can
Make
come in
ready
and
to receive the charge.
Oh, but now they have made more squares and are starting to react. You know, a little earlier I was thinking this was
Okay, that was good. Now, I'm sorry to interrupt.
Oh, that's
you.
all right.
The Huskers did it nice. Again, in my estimation, timing is critical
yeah.
on the battlefront. And again, I feel like the Huskers here are just a couple ticks behind when the second wave of cavalry should have struck.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think he probably should. It's like you say, it should really just be running down this line as quickly as possible. I know they're trying to finish them off. Sometimes it can be frustrating because you'll think you have the artillery done, and then there'll be like a couple guys left that will go reman the artillery. But at the same time, they really need to be going down this line just as quickly as they can. You know,
You have that other bank of artillery there that's unmolested.
Yeah.
And they really need to go after them and not even just completely ignore these square formations. See, and now the Huskers' first cavalry unit there is finished with that, but they're standing there.
Standing there, yeah.
They haven't got new orders, and again, that's just, especially with a lightning strike unit like cavalry, that's just not something you want to see. Cavalry should always be on the move, in my estimation.
Yeah. I can.
Yeah, go ahead, Jim.
Oh, I was going to say, I completely agree. I think that they needed
Our
to be
men
moving.
are running.
If doing nothing else, they needed to be running in a flank, and standing right in front of that square formation really just killed them off. There was one smart move I thought they did. I was thinking it was a bad move at first. This unit that had been over here, and you can see the remains of them and everything, I thought that was sort of a suicide move, but it did keep the Sooners from being able to concentrate over here, so at least they're able to do this. They really wasted their opportunity with the cavalry not hitting faster.
Yeah, and again, once you have them in the square formation, if I'm the Huskers, once you got the Sooners there in similar square formation, I tell me what you think of this, Jeff. I'd be bringing my own infantry
And really trying
in
to rush
for hand to hand.
Yes, exactly. That would have been a better move. Have the infantry take care of their square formations, let the cavalry go right on down the line. Would have worked a lot better than what happened here.
Yeah, and what we're seeing, unfortunately, is that the Husker coaches have decided that they're going to just go toe-to-toe
Our
and
men are
exchange
running,
volleys.
sir.
And honestly, again, timing is everything. If they had been more aggressive sooner and engaged in hand-to-hand, I think we would be seeing the Sooners breaking ranks further down the line.
Are you saying that the Sooners went sooner?
Some say they go too soon.
Finally, here comes the Husker charge. Whoa, there we go. Very effective, but again, it might be just a little bit too late.
And part of this, folks watching this and trying to pick things up, and obviously the experienced players will know some of what we're talking about, but you can never go into a scenario like this expecting it to go according to your plan.
Right.
And you have to, hopefully, and this happens over time and experience, but go into it knowing some what-if scenarios.
Yeah.
What if this happens? How will I respond? What if this scenario develops? How am I going to respond? And while the Huskers are ultimately making, I think, tactically the right decisions, I think they're not happening fast enough.
Yeah. Well, in fact, actually, yeah, right here. Look at the timing with this. Cavalry came in, but just after the Sooners had created the square.
Right.
So as a result,
Our men
wind
are
up
running.
now they're going to go take out the artillery, but that should have happened just
A long time ago.
Yeah.
Actually. And the infantry should be moving up right now for the Huskers to attack that square formation in hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah.
Or if you're going to trade volleys, you should have brought one unit to one side and then triangulated the second unit so that you're almost forcing them to have to split rank, and the moment they do that, you basically have a certain amount of time there where they reflow to just pick them apart.
Yeah, I agree. I think that would have been the way to do this.
Our men are running.
And now you're seeing I think that might be the last of the Husker cavalry is retreating off the field here. You have some guys who are rallying over here, so they might be able to pick off a few of them. Oh, and here we go. We have some units that looks like they may have been left behind. Again, just bad form on the Huskers' part. The timing is just off. They left some people behind, and as a result, did not have the full force.
Yeah, I'm not real keen on the tight grouping that they are having right now.
Yeah.
Of course, I think the Sooners, their artillery has pretty well been taken out. So Oh, and look at that. The Huskers still look like they're able to lob in at least one cannon.
Yeah. Let's take a look at what artillery they have left here.
We'll call this the Battle of the Lone Cannon.
Well, let's see. We actually got 3 of them here. These guys actually were not getting too badly damaged. The others were the ones usually getting shot at. Oh, and you got some individual artillerymen coming back and well, there you go. This is the tale of the Lone Cannon. It's the tale of the Lone Cannon.
Now, the question is, where are they going to be hitting?
Let's see what they're aiming at.
And you've got to hope they're softening up the line there for the Huskers as they try to make their desperate attempt to break down the Sooners.
Yeah, I lost track of that cannonball. I don't know where it went. But now, okay, well now you got the rifles softening up the Sooners as they're.
And now they're forcing. It looks like they're forcing the Sooners for essentially the first time to break their line and readjust their tactics.
Yeah. To match.
In a substantial way.
Yeah, and in fact, actually, these guys are coming up. This is actually the Huskers' star players. Oh, my camera's having some difficulty here, folks. There we go. We got the foot guards. Oh, with foot. I thought I saw. There we go. Oh, just regular foot. I thought I saw the Highlanders in there somewhere. I guess I didn't. It was Highland foot. There we go. These are the guys with the kilts. So now, once the Scots are there, we know they mean business. We're about to really actually see the Huskers play here. They've not even started yet. What kind of odds would you give? Oh, and they still have their howitzer artillery, and that might soften up at least the Sooners on this flank. I find it interesting though that the Sooners are not even reacting at all with these troops.
If the tide turns here, and it looks like there's a chance that the Huskers could turn the tide later in the game, I would have to say it's the Sooners' own fault for not pressing the advantage when they clearly had it. If anything, if this doesn't go their way, I think there could be plenty of criticism for the coaches of the Sooners to say that they stuck to their original game plan too long and conservative as it was, and didn't press the advantage when they had and opened up the offense and really started to work the Huskers over.
It's almost as though they just think that they've already won it, and so they're sitting there celebrating, maybe having some French wine.
I think that's a very good analysis. I kind of wonder if that wasn't it. They were getting such a good result from their initial bombardment, creating heavy losses on the Huskers' own artillery, that they may have fell into a little bit of complacency. And the Huskers here, even though their timing again hasn't been perfect, they've done enough here, especially for what the Sooners is their right flank. They've actually gained back and maybe even gone ahead.
Yeah, I think so. You can see that they're actually doing a couple of flanking maneuvers here. So they might actually be able to pull out this, get rid of these rifles here. And the Sooners are just not maneuvering. They're just not even trying to adjust to it.
Yeah, so, I'm not sure what they're doing there on the Sooners' own left line.
Yeah. But yeah, these rifles are about to get.
Okay, here they are. Now the Sooners are coming up there.
Oh, okay, there we go. They're starting to adjust, and that's making them more.
But I'm not sure. Okay, now the Huskers are again lining facing direct. But we still have the howitzers now. I see that the Sooners have artillery that's finally trying to engage the howitzers.
Yeah. Oh.
And we don't see from here. Oh wow, they're routing.
It's scared off. I think these guys had routed before, and
so
when they come back in, they're already very fragile. But the Cornhuskers are going ahead and just charging forward. Again, it might be just a little bit too late because now you can see the Sooners are bringing in their old guard.
Yeah, and we're able to line up and get position.
Because usually these chasseurs, the skirmishers are easy to beat in hand-to-hand when they're alone. But when you've got their support there, especially someone as great as the old guard, you can usually curl up a bit.
And I'm not quite sure about the targeting of the Huskers artillery that's left. They seem to be focusing on artillery there towards the Sooners' left side of the line, when really I felt like they should have been more support there on the right where the actual engagements are.
Oh, that came in still. Oh! It wasn't bad enough that he stabbed him, he had to punch him in the face.
Yeah.
I like how the guy then stood there like, ha! Like gloating over the dead body.
Well, I think the Huskers' remaining artillery is
Our men
having
are running.
a noticeable impact there on the Sooners' left line.
The lone cannon. And the Sooners are finally starting to adjust. It's kind of like they're realizing, oh wait, the battle's not over. We actually have to deal with this. But I think you're right. The artillery really should be concentrating a lot more on this Sooners' right flank.
Yeah. If they had been doing that, I think earlier in the war, I think right now they would be able to press on to the Sooners' left flank.
I'm pretty proud of my camera movement there.
That was not a bad job at all.
So we shall now start commentating on the cameraman. That guy just got stepped on the balls. This guy on the left.
Well, that's a typical Sooner move.
Oh, it was a Cornhusker hitting the Sooner there. Oh!
I'm sure he had good reason for doing that. Yeah.
It twisted. The guy
Probably
stepped.
went out with his sister.
You know what? I bet so. Nothing's worse than your sister going out with an Oklahoman.
Okay, well now we're seeing the Scots taking an unnecessary amount of the Scot Huskers, the Husker Scots as they prefer to be called,
That's right.
taking some damage. Now they're finally attacked.
Yeah.
That's part of the problem when you have a scenario with this large of a front. It becomes real art form to continue to have all of your guys under control of your movement and direction.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, it's very difficult to coordinate all of your people. You're having to send orders to one side and then the other. Oh, and their morale is starting to really shake. I'm actually rather surprised. But then again, they are up against the Old Guard, and Old Guard is really some massively good players. Oh, and the great guy in green, I was going to focus on him, but he got killed. I think he was trying to drum it, but he didn't have a drum, so he was sort of air drumming.
Why not, Sarge?
And they're closing ranks a little bit, they're looking for losses.
Yeah. It seems like the Huskers have this like full-on line here. It's just trading shots with these French. It just seems like the French are better shots right now. Because look, there aren't that many French machine. Remember at the beginning I thought, oh well, the Huskers are going to have the numbers versus the French because the French chose the better units, so therefore they have fewer. But it's just as though, you know, those numbers aren't really helping because you see all these massively more numbers. It's just not doing enough.
Well,
Our
as
men
we
are
were
running,
talking,
Sarge.
it's going to take some casualties.
Oh, there go the Scots.
The Scots are, oh, that's a surprise.
Yeah.
I would not have expected that. If this continues long enough, I fully expect they'll regroup to some extent.
You know what? You shame. I bet you know you're all faux Scotsmen. I bet you're all just wearing kilts, but you're just Englishmen in kilts.
Yeah, they're an embarrassment to Husker Scots everywhere.
That's right. Oh, and here come the French doing a charge. Screw you, we're gonna charge you. Oh, or I'm sorry, not the French, Sooners.
What were the Sooners thinking there? They made like a feint of a charge.
Yeah, and then ran.
Oh, I see what happened. The Huskers had them even before they charged. They had them flanked,
Yeah.
and I think the Sooners started to rush, and they went, oh crap!
Oh, and now they're like, oh,
And now they're routed. So these were the guys that were routed before.
come back. They're kind of like that. That's the kind of their MO. They're like, let's go. No, let's not. Let's go. That's not right. Now, what Britain should be doing. Here's another problem with the Cornhusker offense here is that they're doing this maneuvering wrong. They're sending their foot guards first when the rifles should be going forward.
Yeah, when the rifles should be going forward. And I guess the riflemen still are within range, but I'm kind of surprised that they must be right at the...
Oh, you know what? That's probably what it is. I've had that happen as well, where I don't want to move, because they don't shoot when they move. So maybe it's better to sort of leave them where they are, let them keep... Oh, what the heck's going on over here? Well,
Another route?
Looks like they had another charge that they just wound up running away from. Oh, they were probably trying to take out that artillery, because once you get close to that artillery, you're going to have canister fire. And without cavalry, you're kind of toast. But we can see here, the lone artillery piece is still firing.
Now the Huskers really are down to one.
Pretty much. Just about. Get ready to fire. Fire! Alright, let's see how this goes on now. Oh, we got these guys moving in. Looks like they charged. And they've taken them out, so they are in the Sooners' rear now.
And I hope they're really giving it to the Sooners' rear.
Oh yeah, and you got the rifle artillery now firing at... Not the rifle artillery, the rifles now firing actually at the artillery. It took out a few of them out, but it looks like it wasn't enough. So what's going on here? Okay, so now the French, the old guard, are guarding against that. Against the foot guards.
Our men are
It is
running.
not going to be enough. The Huskers are running. And is that the end of the... Yeah, it looks like that's the end of the Huskers. Oh, no, there we go. We got rifles over here.
Well, it looks like the Sooners may end up winning this one, although...
Oh, and here comes the Scotsman. Oh, and there they go. Sorry. Go ahead, what you were saying?
I was saying this could be the end of the game here.
Yeah, looks like it's going to be.
The Huskers just dug themselves in too deep of a hole by getting too many of their artillery pieces knocked out.
Yeah. And they just, that was just a real problem with them is the fact... I mean, I know that they had to take it on. They couldn't just leave that French artillery because that French artillery can just simply pound them and pound them. But their timing was just really, really bad overall in this game.
Yeah, I would have to say that the Huskers had their opportunities. They just did not capitalize when the openings presented themselves. And again, it comes down to experience. They're a young team, a lot of underclassmen here. And I think within a couple of years, you're going to see a team that's ready to challenge on a consistent basis. Whether the opponent are the French Sooners or the Russian Texans or any of the usual suspects.
It's a building year.
It's a building year.
Well, at this particular point, what's going to happen is it's just going to be artillery firing while the French come marching up. I mean, I'd love, as much as I'd love to watch the lone cannon all the way to its bitter. Hey, I think they grew a number of men. Look at this. It was like 3 or 4 guys, wasn't it?
It was a group of guys. I don't know. It does seem like they've added 1 or 2.
It's becoming a party. Everybody who's retreated has gone back to the cannon going, hey, the lone cannon. Oh!
Oh, that was it.
There it goes. Well, you know what? When the lone cannon goes, that was a pretty impressive shot, though. When the lone cannon goes, it's over. The time is done. So, all right. Well, that's about it. Thank you all for watching. That'll do us for us here in what is Cornhusker Stadium called?
Memorial.
Memorial Stadium.
A memorial to dead soldiers, actually.
This is definitely a memorial to dead soldiers. Be sure to subscribe. Watch us on Facebook, Twitter, and all that fun stuff. And yeah, and enjoy our mini shows. Happy gaming, everyone.